Welcome. I thought I'd make a little video to talk about the current XMaxx project and what I've done so far and how it's been working out. It has the wide kit on it, and I started with the recommended 45 weight oil, but with the additional motor weight and stuff I put in the car, I'm currently running 70 weight oil, front and rear. I didn't want the suspension to unload a whole lot going off jumps, and without droop screws, I went and did the old fuel line limiter inside the shock. My little bands of fuel line are approximately 6.5 millimeters, and they help the car stay squatted a little more, especially when it's coming off a jump, so it doesn't unload quite as much. I'm running the Max6 combo with the 5687 at 1100 kV. I've got the turbo cooling fans off of Etsy to keep everything cool, and the WFO 1.5 mod gears running 25-35. I did have a slight issue trying to get the gear mesh correct. Bowhouse recommends maximum tooth count of 60 on the 1.5 mod. I was having problems getting the mesh to loosen up enough. So my solution was a 1/32 piece of aluminum sitting underneath the motor mount, holes drilled in it, slotted, and that gave it plenty of room to get the right gear mesh. So since then, no worries. I ran a 23 tooth for a couple runs, and it definitely took a little bit of the pep out of the car. So I wanted to get back to the 25-35 and still be pretty solid with nothing terribly hokey, and so the little flat sheet seemed to be something that would be pretty sturdy. I purchased these turbo fans off of Etsy, and so far they've been working really good. They can run on voltage from 6 volts all the way up to 16 volts. And you can order the fans with different balanced pigtail adapters to go to a 2S, 3S, or 4S. I am running the adapter plate to change the ESC fan from 35 millimeters to 40, and I mounted that by just cutting the center out of the stock Hobby Wing fan guard to match the size of the hole. I'm running both my fans off of BEC voltage. So the motor fans are pigtailed into the receiver, and the fan on the ESC is just plugged into the fan port. I purchased a 45 kilogram standard size brushless digital servo off of Amazon for about $42, and it did require that I cut a little bit out of the bulkhead, as the top of the case on the servo was higher than the traxxas version, and after a bunch of trying to figure out how to get it in there without doing anything, I just gave up and cut out enough of the bulkhead. I also took the stock steering yoke and chopped the little bearing support piece off the front. I glued a ball joint into that little piece after drilling out the center a little bit, and then used a longer screw to mount the servo horn to the servo, so now it actually has some support for the servo shaft on the front. I just got a set of SledgeHammer tires for the XMaxx with the green wheels, so we're going to give those a try. So everything else in the car is still stock. I haven't changed the diff fluids in the front, center, or rear from factory. They're still the same. Other than the RPM carriers on the outers at the wheels for the oversized bearings, it's pretty much stock. The car runs really strong with the cooling I've got running on the BEC voltage. It stays cool. Now we just have to see if my fix it and forget it solution works.